Hand injuries are super common in boxing. A lot of fighters have a history with hand injuries, Floyd Mayweather and Andre Ward being examples. And two very well known boxing influencers on YouTube, one of the guys from those Boxing Bros and Tony Jeffries. Both of them had to retire because of hand injuries. Of course, those are extreme examples, and if you're just doing boxing as a hobby, that's unlikely to happen. But you still will get some minor discomfort or some tweaks if you don't do the things I'm about to mention right now. The first thing is using proper technique. When you punch, it's super important that right when you're about to hit your target, you squeeze your hand. Of course, it's faster if you punch with your hand open, which is good to do if you're just using the jab as a rangefinder, or you're shadow boxing and you really want to work on your speed, similar to what Ryan Garcia does. But when it comes to punching a person or the bag, you need to squeeze your hand at the end. Also, regarding technique, it's super important that when you punch, you land with these two knuckles. This not only protects your hand, but you could also feel the difference too. For example, if you just punch your palm with the flat of your hand versus land with the two knuckles, you could feel the difference. You could feel the difference more if someone else demonstrates with you on your shoulder, but yeah, landing with the two knuckles will make a difference. And this is just a side note, but of course there's Jack Dempsey's theory. He was a former boxer, and he said instead of punching with these two knuckles, you should punch with these three. And his theory for that is that when you look at your hand, there's not really much support behind the two knuckles right here. But when you look at these three, there's your whole wrist for support. But the vast majority of coaches and fighters say to punch with the two knuckles, and if I had to bet which one was the better option, I would say it's the two knuckles. The next thing is to wrap your hands. There are times when it's good to punch the bag without wrapping your hands, since it forces you to punch with good technique. But when you do this, you shouldn't be punching with full power. But a lot of beginners and other people try and show off and say, yeah, I'll even wrap my hands before hitting the bag. But in reality, they get away with it because they don't know proper punching technique and they don't know how to use their hips when they punch. So they're really just arm punching. And if they did use their whole body when they punch, they would most likely hurt their hand. That's why in most martial arts gyms, they don't have the beginners wrap their hands because they know they don't punch hard enough to hurt their hand. But when you do start punching hard enough, it is very important to wrap your hand. A lot of beginners don't know that this is a thing you have to do. A lot of people just think you just put your glove on and then go to town on the bag. But yeah, wrapping your hands, it takes a little bit of time, but it's something you need to do. But hand wraps are really cheap, and if you don't know how to do it, there's plenty of YouTube videos online on how to. Everyone likes wrapping their hands a different way. So just go online, find a couple ways and see which ways work for you. And through the videos that you watch, you could start blending different hand wrapping techniques so you really get your own customized hand wrapping way that works best for you. But the last thing you could do to prevent hand injuries in martial arts is do some exercise that will make your hand and wrist more stable when punching. Also, these exercises are really good to do if you ever do hurt your hand and wrist and you need to rehab it. I actually have a video where I talk about my 5 favorite hand and wrist exercises that you could do, which I'll link in the description below. There is an infinite amount of exercise you could do though. But keep in mind, this is just supplemental though. There is a ton of benefits you'll get from working out your hands and wrist, not just when it comes to preventing injuries. But if you don't wrap your hands or use proper technique, you will get a hand injury no matter how strong your hands and wrists are. But if you have any questions, just ask me in the comment section below. It actually helps me a lot when you ask questions because it just helps me come up with new video ideas and just helps me know what people need to know. But if you're new to this channel, my goal is to help you with your martial arts and fitness goals. So if you think this channel will help you, make sure to subscribe. Also, here's another video you might like. But thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.